This is the episode of Big Boy Pants Golf that you demanded. Too often we keep hearing, why are these guys here at this BMW PGA Championship? The better question is, who are these guys?
The BMW PGA Championship is one of the DP World Tour's strongest fields of the year, and that's certainly the case this week with the likes of Rory McIlroy and Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Let's take a look at the current leaderboard. Might have heard of you. Definitely though, Victor Hovland. Familiar name, yes. Michael Jordan, didn't know he played here. Once we start getting down to past the 11th, no idea. Maybe heard of your name. I believe Larrazabal played in one LIV event, and then Golf Digest made an article where it seemed like he was having a difficult time getting back to the DP World Tour. Not so much. Big Bad Billy Ho. No idea. Eddie Pepperell. We'll get to him. M. Southgate. Minwoo Lee. Okay, I know that guy. John Rahm. Great. I wonder if last week's Korn Ferry Tour Championship had a better field than this BMW PGA Championship flagship event for the DP World Tour. Denmark, Norway, something. Thomas Bjorn? If we could take a time machine back to 2007, Thomas Bjorn would be a strong addition to this field. Yes, 58-year-old Miguel Angel Jimenez was in this event and missed the cut at 1 under par. 58 years old. Travis Fulton pointed out that Sergio Garcia withdrew and the next day was photoed at a football game. I was just starting to like Travis Fulton after watching a podcast of his from a few days ago about Ricky Fowler, and Travis Fulton was saying Ricky's trying to overhaul his swing, which is insane at this stage of his career, and that Ricky needed to have someone who, like in the case of Jordan Spieth, who also didn't protect the genius. I like that phrase. You need to protect the genius. But now, Travis Fulton put that post out about Sergio Garcia. Now I'm back to Travis Fulton is, I wonder why Justin Rose and Fox also withdrew. I think Fox is going to be on the President's Cup team. What's more important is who's winning the BMW PMS Championship. Yes, I said PMS.
As much as I get along with Ian Poulter, Lee Westwood, Bernd Wiesberger, and these guys, and I know they're European Tour members and they've supported the tour throughout the years, I believe that they shouldn't be here.
You mean the European Tour players who've played in hundreds of events, as opposed to you, Billy Ho.
I believe it's a slap in the face of the regular members, of the guys that are actually supporting this tour going forward. These LIV guys, when they signed the contract, they factored in their what they got paid at the very beginning when they signed that contract, that they may not be able to play the DP World Tour or the PGA Tour going forward.
So you're saying that because they factored into their contracts that they may not be able to play the DP World Tour going forward, then they shouldn't be able to play.
So that's why I think some of their values were, or they increased their values or asked for a bigger number. And that's, and they got those numbers. So it's a slap in the face to realize that some of these guys, depending on how well they play, may cost somebody a chance of winning this title.
Billy Ho, what does that mean? Depending on how well they play. You mean if they play really well and they win, then someone else can't win?
And taking home a really nice prize check.
That's the Billy Ho mentality in a nutshell. You don't want the LIV players to come over because they might actually win. You want the watered down fields, and you're going to push to keep them out of the majors because it increases your odds.
And it's the biggest purse on the DP World Tour. That's a full field. I think
We all know you're going to say it's a slap in the face, Billy Ho.
It's like I said, it's a slap in the face to the regular membership of this tour. I can't have as hard of a stance as I would like because I've only been a member of this tour for the last 4 or 5 years.
And that's why nobody cares what you think.
The DP World Tour isn't as strong as the PGA Tour. And the DP World Tour is trying to be built back up with a strategic alliance and to try and do it on their own as well.
Look at how weak this field is, despite being propped up by the LIV Golf Tour players. I know Jason Kokrak and Martin Keimer decided not to play, and they would have made the field stronger, which is exactly what Billy Ho doesn't want to happen, because he doesn't want good players to come over to strengthen the field and take the money from the tour. The field is abysmal, and this is one of the strongest fields of the year. Go look at the field of the Horizon Irish Open and notice the lack of strength of field points. It's sad, and it's only going to get worse next year, especially considering the top 10 on the DP World Tour can go to the PGA Tour. And even in terms of the DP World Tour, why would you want to be on it when you can go to the Korn Ferry Tour, get a $500,000 guarantee, and you got top 25 or so, I think, get to the PGA Tour. The DP World Tour will be behind the PGA Tour, the LIV Tour, the Korn Ferry Tour, and if it gets behind the Asia Tour, it'll be number 5 in the world.
But at the same time, like I said, I think it's a slap in the face that these guys are here. So
yes, that was slap in the face number 4. Let's let him backtrack a little bit and cover a point he's already covered again and in multiple interviews. Again, adding nothing new or original to his prior points from months ago.
I just think that they should really just not be here and stay away and enjoy counting all those millions of dollars that they got.
Billy, on the other hand, deserved to lead the Race to Dubai standings last year in 2021, despite only playing one event in Europe since 2019 at that point. Billy calls out Taylor Gooch, specifically naming him, saying that he doesn't think he should be here. And then Taylor Gooch comes back with the fact that this is his first time qualifying for this via official World Golf Ranking points, and he is here at the BMW PGA Championship to get more official World Golf Ranking points, as is the norm. This brings us to world number 295, Eddie Pepperell, who's also in the field, and he once declared his pursuit of official World Golf Ranking points. Eddie Pepperell, in July, stated that he would never join LIV, and this was when he was ranked 551st in the world. He also states, "I don't play golf for money." This is interesting considering that in January of 2019, Pepperell was defending his decision to play in the Saudi International. And he even had it on his little blog, which I'm now going to read for you. According to Eddie Pepperell, the problem with taking a moral approach to us golfers playing in Saudi Arabia this week is that it would lay bare many contradictions of the past. Like, for example, why do we play in China or Qatar or Turkey? Depending on your timescale, you could argue that every country on earth has at some point exemplified the worst that human beings have to offer. But back to 2019, it clearly is true that Saudi Arabia's human rights record is questionable at best and appalling to anyone in the West. But should that mean we boycott competing? That probably depends who you are. I can really only speak for myself, and plus remember, I'm not being paid to be here, so I'm only slightly less immoral than the top guys who have showed up. For me, if I didn't play, I sacrificed the opportunity to play against the best in the world. I miss a chance to improve my world ranking also, which objectively speaking does hold some importance for me, since if I fall out of the top 50 before April, then I won't be eligible for a PGA Tour event I have scheduled to play. And that means losing flights, etc., and having to pay for new ones, which you might say is no problem because I've earned a lot of money lately, though resentment isn't good for anybody. This week throws up a not new conundrum for us then. The competition supersedes morality. If I don't show up, the field doesn't reduce a spot, somebody takes it. With over 7 billion people in the world, our futures might give us all an opportunity to choose between morality and survival. This isn't to say morality isn't important and should never be acted upon, but it is to say that there's reality to the world that while we might all dislike, still exists. On top of all of this, maybe, just maybe, the regime out here really do want to change. Maybe they've recognized the perilous state of their own affairs, and in particular, their reliance on a fossil fuel that won't be here forever. It might be true that they want to liberalize their kingdom, so that they can be competitive themselves in the future. Why should we Westerners not accept this if true? After all, aren't we the true purveyors of forgiveness? Yes, Billy Horschel is a mouth breather. He shows no ability to think. But I think in the case of who wins the BMW PMS Championship, it's got to be Eddie Pepperell. That was literally like a chick's diary. Eddie Pepperell calls himself out via a diary entry.
And you said previously that you would find it hard to stomach the 17 or 18 LIV players being here this week. How have you found it so far?
Look, it is what it is. They're here, they're playing the golf tournament. My opinion is they shouldn't be here, but again, that's just my opinion. But, you know, we're all going to tee it up on the first tee tomorrow. We're going to go play 72 holes, which is a novelty for them at this point.
If you liked the episode, subscribe. Also, special shout out to Oswaldo Jimenez. It's not Jimenez, it's Jimenez, for giving me the push to protect the genius.